My biggest challenge right now is just with the children at home, I can't find proper daycare because daycare is ranging up to like $500 per child. And with 3 of them, how is one person affording just that? I have to pay like my friends and my family to be like, hey, can you watch her for 2 hours so I can work? And they're charging upwards to like $14 just for watching her an hour. And then I'm making $14 an hour. So why am I even working in the first place? That's really difficult right now. 2.5 years I've been fighting with people right downtown, like, hey, I need help. And they're like, well, you're not meeting our standards. And I'm like, what more can I do? Well, get a job. Well, I can't get a job if I can't find daycare. I can't tie her to my back and go right into work. And they're like, well, get a job and then we can possibly help you. So nothing is really guaranteed there either. So it's just, that's the most difficult thing. In the past couple of years, I got diagnosed with a stage 4 form of cancer, and with paying upwards to about $1,000 for chemotherapy medication, you don't have that money in your pocket for dinner, for extras, for clothes, for even transportation and babysitting and doing bills. And I had to pay for treatments, I had to pay for the house. I am now a single mother, and everything was like tying together and just being so difficult. I ended up losing my apartment, and unfortunately it was my first ever apartment. I was so devastated, and here I am almost 3 years later, and I still am not even secure in my own house yet. Like, we are just coinciding with roommates or family members just to make sure that there's a roof over our heads, because we can't sleep in the car with children. I get paid $14 an hour, and minimum wage is still at what, $7.25? Absolutely insane. That needs to change. And luckily, I am very fortunate to have a phenomenal boss, but not a lot of people have that. Some people work for big corporations, and they don't have that benefit of, hey, I need help, and receiving that help. They have to figure it out and start walking upwards of an hour away just to get to their job to bring home a very, very poor paycheck. It's a terrible cycle. I've been stuck in it for a while. And I look over at like my mother-in-law and I'm like, how did you get to where you're at? And she's like, just 3 years ago, her house burnt down and she was right back at square one. And I was like, how did you get out of it? She was like, I worked 24/7. There was nothing more than I can do. I'm only 22, so I shouldn't have to deal with so much at this point in time. And back then it was, for me, it seemed like it was easier, but with her explaining, nothing's changed in over a decade. Because you start somewhere and then everything adds up, and the only thing that you have left is a credit card. So you have to use that credit card. Oh, you want to get to work? Use that credit card. Oh, you want to eat? You want to feed your family? Use that credit card. But now you have no money to put money back on the credit card. Now your credit's gone. Speaking out loud about it and like trying to understand, and then realizing that you're living it and like currently like financially like just completely messed up, and you can't get out of this hole that has been dug and you didn't even dig it. It's like, keep trying to dig your way out. You're just going farther down. There's nowhere else you can go. You don't have that money for it. So that has been contributing to why I cannot become secure